Hey everyone, happy February and happy supermoon. Had a big full moon eclipse yesterday, and I want to talk in this video about how to sync up with your cycles. And the moon is a really good energy to tap into when we're thinking about that because the moon cycles. I'll be honest, I've been feeling really low energy. Lately, I've been just feeling really frustrated about wanting to get more done, but feeling really tired. And I know that, so my point is if you're feeling that way too, like it's okay. And we're not robots, we're human beings. And if we feel low energy, if we feel tired, it's for a good reason. It's because our body needs something. And when you can let go of this mindset, which I think is especially common in America, that you're not as valuable if you're not as productive, if you can let go of that and actually just, you can really start to enjoy the downtime that comes with cycles. And so if this is especially for women, especially for women who are in their years when they're menstruating, and we do go through these cycles every month with changing hormones and changing energy levels. So the first tip that I want to give you for syncing up with your cycles is to track it. I learned this from Kate Northrup, and she provided like a really amazing tracking sheet. And so you don't need a fancy sheet or anything like that. You just need to take the time at the end of every day and just rate your energy levels. So have a journal and just say, here's how my energy was today. And on a scale of 1 to 10, what phase of your cycle were you in, and what phase the moon was in maybe, or any other notable details about that day. And I found when I started tracking these things that it really helped me to feel like I had control over my energy in my life. So I was able to actually have some sense of predictability over like, okay, I know that at this time of the month my energy is going to be like this. And it actually helped me to come into this place of like real respect and sacred kind of reverence for my body when, especially around my time of my period, because I started reading this book about, and I've read there's a lot of resources out there about the magic of a woman's menstrual period, and a lot of cultures used to use that time to actually connect with their spirit in a much deeper way. And the women would come together during this time, and it would allow them to really connect with each other, and a lot of spiritual wisdom would come through for the whole community. And so it really showed me that this is a time to really revere. And so I'm getting close to that time. It's not here yet, but I'm actually like really excited, and I like can't wait until my period comes, because it's going to be this, like, I know that what happens in my body is my body just like, there's actually like your brain is more capable of the right and left hemispheres of communicating with each other. And so you can synthesize things. It's a really good time to reflect on the past cycle and what you created and how things went and what's not working in your life that you might want to shift. It's a really good time for introspection. And when we take that time to slow down, then when we're in productivity mode, we can get so much more done because we've done that evaluation part. So it's really about noticing. The first step is really noticing and tracking. And then once you got some information, then you know what to expect. Then it's about taking an attitude of reverence and looking for how you can learn from the way things are and how you can work with it rather than against it. So there are just gems in every single phase of life: childhood, adulthood, elder years, every phase of a woman's cycle. And for men too, if you can learn about the woman that you're with, or at least understand that the women around you go through these cycles, and take, again, this attitude of reverence for it, you can start to have a certain level of, the fear goes away because it's predictable, is what I'm trying to say. And there's a predictability of, okay, like, there's going to be changes, right? The only constant is change. So you can have that reverence and start to be curious about what she might need in those different phases and what her skills are in each phase, because there is going to be a time when we actually have a greater capacity for like socializing, going out, networking, meeting people, making connections, going to events, stuff like that during the ovulation phase. And then there's a time when, you know, after that, when we're really in our hormones are optimized for us to actually do a lot of like finishing up, tying up loose ends, getting organized, that kind of thing. And then there's the menstrual period, which is like the rest, the rejuvenation, spiritual depths. And then you have the next phase where it's a good time for preparation and planning. And so we go through these phases every month. And there's a really amazing app called MyFlo, MyFlo. It's like $2 in the App Store, totally worth it. It tells you about what types of foods you can eat that will support you during your cycle. It tells you about what kinds of hormones are happening. It gives you tips on how to tailor your love and sex life to match where your body is at. It's really awesome. I recommend it. So the other thing that I wanted to mention about all of this, it just totally slipped my mind. Is there anyone who's watching who has questions or wants to share something? No questions? Well, so another area that we can talk about cycles within is just the cycle of a single day. There's the morning, afternoon, evening, and in Ayurveda, it's actually divided into different elements. And so there's actually, like, the morning is a good time to have, I'm kicking myself right now for not doing more preparation for this video, and I could have everything written down to share with you the exact times. Like from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. is one cycle, 2 to 6 is the next, 6 to 10, 10 to 2. I believe 10 to 2, I believe that 6 to 10 in the morning is kapha, which is like water and body, and then 10 to 2 is pitta, which is fire. That's a good time to productivity, your digestion is at its greatest, so it's good to eat like a big lunch if you're working with inside of the Ayurvedic philosophy. And then is the Pitta Vata is the afternoon from 2 to 6, I believe. So that's like air. It's a good time for thinking, writing, using your brain. If you're someone who has a Vata tendency like me, I'm very like airy just in general. It's a time when I need to kind of actually balance that out or like really harness it. Because I can get very like airy in the afternoons and just like go in mental swirls. So recognizing your cycles, recognizing how you feel in the mornings and the afternoons, and creating rituals and habits that support you. So meditation, journaling, having regular meal times. Inside of this changing world that we live in, as much stability that we can create through ritual, through, you know, honoring things like the changing of the seasons, or, you know, our women's cycles, things that are regular, even though they are changing, it's part of a cycle, so it comes back around. Honoring those things actually gives us as human beings, I think, a sense of more like stability and ease. And oh yes, I remember the thing that I was going to say before about food. So one thing that I've been finding lately is that my food is really my medicine, and I can get to know the cycles of my body a lot better when I'm eating clean, because when I'm eating things that are difficult for my body to handle and process, that just adds more stress, and then things are just more unpredictable. And so when I'm consistently eating clean, it's like easier to get in sync with those cycles. So a way to think about it is food as medicine. And if you think about it, if someone just handed you a pill, like, you wouldn't just eat it unless you knew what was in it, right? So when you're about to eat something, think about what's in it, because it's really going to affect you. And even if you don't think it will, pay attention to how you feel while you're eating and after you're eating, and see. And if you were to try changing things around in your diet, I think it's very likely that you would find that actually what you're eating really does affect you, and it could be positive or negative. But knowing how your foods affect you is also going to help you have more power over your life, because you can tailor what you're feeling with what you need to eat and what your body needs. And so a really good way in any moment to sync up with your cycles, sync up with where you are right now, is to just stop, take a moment, and just take some deep breaths into your belly and really feel what's present in your body. You can do that at any point in time, and try to become aware of where you are in your cycle, whatever that cycle is. If it's the cycle of your day, if it's the cycle of your menstruation, if it's the cycle of the month, cycle of the moon, whatever of the year, just get in touch with where you are in your cycles. So let's practice for a moment. Try and stop what you're doing and just rest your hands on your lap. Take some deep breaths. Breathe into your belly, feeling it expand and release, and expand and release. And become aware of the fact that we just had a full moon. It's February, the beginning of the month. It's winter. It's 2018. Become aware of where you are right now in your cycle, your menstrual cycle if you're a woman. It is 11:19 Central Time, so it's the middle of the day. Just breathe into all of that awareness. And invite in a sense of reverence, a sense of wonder and curiosity. Bring in awareness of your age, what part of your life you're in right now. If you have children, or if you're pregnant, become aware of the age of your children. That's a part of the cycle of life and cycles of your family. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video and that's helped you connect a little bit more to your cycle, your cycles, and your power, and helped you to sync up with that cyclical nature of our world, and that has brought you a greater sense of power. And if you have questions or comments, I would love to hear them. And if you feel like you want some help, I'm also here to support. So just go ahead and leave a comment and say, support please, or send me a personal message if that's the case for you. Or if there's someone you know who you think could use some support in this area, go ahead and connect them to me. I'm really here, really wanting to serve and support people to be in their power and to have a sense of joy and ease in their bodies. I've been cultivating lately a greater sense of embodiment, and through the work I've been doing with my physical therapist and with my healer, our Vigo massage healer, and nutritionist, I've just like really been syncing up with my body, and it's so amazing. And it's still hard when I get to these moments of like not having the energy that I want to have. Sometimes it's hard to surrender to my body and giving it what it needs. But when I do, it feels really liberating, and it feels really like enjoyable. So I want to build a culture where we're all going to encourage each other to honor our bodies and take that time that we need for ourselves. Because I think it would really benefit everyone. Because when we're rested and truly nourished, we can do a lot better work when we're out in a productive mode, I believe. So that's all I've got. I hope you have a beautiful February and bring a focus to syncing up with your cycles this month. Namaste. The light in me honors the light and teacher in you.